Welcome back to the Dax and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dax and Randi Show. I'm your host, Dax. I'm excited to have y'all back with us. Dax and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life for all us young, middle-aged adults that's just really trying to do a whole lot of things and make our lives better and just going through the good and bad times with that. We're here for y'all. We're excited. This is episode 57. 57 episodes already, y'all. We appreciate y'all. But before we get into today's podcast, where we got so much to talk about, I got to let my co-host introduce herself. What's up, Ed?
Hi, I am Randi, the co-host of the Dax and Randi Show.
Was I throwing you off with my hands?
Yeah, because I'm listening to the sound and I'm wondering if the mic is going to pick it up.
Does it matter?
If the mic picks it up?
Yeah.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, for podcast production, they say one of the most important things to have is clear audio.
Oh, y'all can see we're learning. And we keep it real. I be asking right on the thing. All right, so let me watch my hands. Let me watch how I open my coffee top.
Yeah,
and all that.
I give him the look. Like, what is he doing?
It's all good, though. That's the ups and downs of doing the show. We ain't editing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what's up, man? How you doing? You know what I mean? Before we jump into things, episode 57. We've been able to do this 56 times. Now we about to do a 57th time. And it's a reason for that. You know what I mean?
Yes. This episode is sponsored by Basden Accounting, Basden Accounting, which is a firm that Dex and Randi own. Tax season starts very soon. And actually, by the time this episode is dropped, tax season will have began.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, Basden Accounting is the top firm for your taxes, okay? We offer not just the best tax preparers, not just the tax professionals, but with Basden Accounting, you receive expert advice. You have an enrolled agent every step of the way on your return. If you have questions, we offer clarity. We offer meetings, whatever it is that you desire, Basden Accounting has. We pride ourselves on customer service. We love our clients. Well, most of them. And we look forward to working with you this season. But honestly, I'll just talk from my heart. Tax preparation is something that I am very passionate about. I enjoy preparing taxes. I enjoy reading the tax law. I enjoy learning about the different changes that's going on. And I stay up to date. I'm an enrolled agent. I'm the highest authorized tax professional in the nation to prepare your taxes. You can find Miranda Basden on the IRS website if you search my name. That's how serious it is for me. And I'm here to get you, I don't want to say the biggest refund, but I'm here to get you the largest, most honest, most integrity and prepared situation for your taxes, honestly. So that's my heart. Please reach out to us, Basden Accounting, BasdenAccounting.com. You can call us 410-949-1253. That's the main number. And that's how I feel. I'm very excited about tax season.
Hey, yo, I had to sit back for a second, you know what I mean? Have a couple sips of my coffee because the way you started the whole drop, the way you started the advertisement, I thought you was going to say that we offer back rubs, you know what I'm saying? Long walks on the beach. We like calm music, jazz. You know, I mean, you was kind of like, you know, taking us to a place. I didn't know if you was talking about accounting or taxes or relationships or dating. You got that voice, you know what I mean? You got that quiet storm voice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like that advertisement you just did should be coming on at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But the way you finish it out, hey, look, I appreciate you. It's all true. Randi does have a passion like no other when it comes to taxes. I don't. So I can't do the drop like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's her thing. She's the highest qualified. She runs the tax team at Basden Accounting. And we've been successful for a couple of years, definitely during tax season because of everything you bring. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I want to say that you said, which I want to adjust is, it's tax season right now. Some of y'all already got your tax forms. Some of you are going into a whole realm of the unknown because you ain't been thinking about your taxes all year long. You don't know what's about to happen. You're just calling up so-and-so hoping they can get you some money. Let's cut that out. You know what I'm saying? Let's be better in 2025. Taxes don't just happen at the end of the year. They happen all year long, and you got to change your thinking. You know what I'm saying? If you get to the end of the year and you ain't thought about your tax situation, it's honestly too late. You should have been aware of everything. What's your withholdings? What's coming out of your W-2? How you getting paid? Are you contractor or not? What kind of business you got? How's it set up? How's the money been changing during the year? Should you have been paying estimated taxes during the year? Like, you're way off. But it's okay. It's a new year.
It's all right.
You know what I mean? 2024 is in the past. But listen, if you want to make sure that you're going to have people to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, you need to hit up Basden accountant. Stop playing. Stop playing like it's real like that. You know what I mean? So for sure. But hey, listen, y'all. We have so much that we want to talk about today. We already know we ain't going to get through it all at all. But I'm going to just start it like this. When you think things are going to go one way, it don't. So that's going to be the theme of the day. The year has started unexpectedly, you know what I'm saying, for us. But the devil knows that as soon as you try to go to your ultimate greatness, they're going to throw their roadblocks in front of you. Everybody, I know y'all feel me. You're a young adult, middle age. You say, I want to do something different. I want to be better. I want to be better in my business. I want to be better in my relationship. I want to be better with my money. I want to be better with my health. Whatever it is, the roadblocks just come. And they don't come in ones. They don't come in twos. Sometimes they don't even come in threes. You know what I'm saying? It could be 4, 5, 6. But that's the theme of the pod today, is dealing with the unexpected when you're sitting there trying to be great, because it could be very discouraging. You know what I'm saying? But we going to talk all about that today.
You know what?
What's up?
That just made me think about something.
What's up?
I've been tired recently. And with you saying that and just thinking about how these last couple of weeks have been, I'm connecting it.
Facts. Facts.
Because I'm not normally tired. Like, I just need to rest. And wow.
But you be thinking it's the body, see? People be thinking this physical tiredness. Now your spirit be getting beat up, man. The spirit and the mind be getting beat up first. A lot of times that gets beat up first, and then you feel it in your body. But what's really happening is your soul is just getting knocked on, and your will is getting broken down, and your excitement and your passion is being knocked around, and it takes so much out of you because you're really trying your best. That's the thing. Sometimes we're really trying our best, and then it's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, before we get into all the real deep stuff, because I jump right into that bag. How are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I know you've been tired, but you look good. You got your new hairstyle. Never seen this one before. You know what I mean? Bless. I like it.
You like it?
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
do. Usually Randi does the dramatic ponytail, nice and high. You know what I'm saying? Now she's got the little Pippi Longstocking. the two dramatic, you know what I'm saying? What you want to call them? Braids, I guess.
Braids. I just added a little extra.
She got a little extra at the end. You know what I mean? She got on her Basden accountant shirt, but it's a different look for her. But how are you doing? How's your week? How's your branding going? You know what I mean? How's Randi's world? Like, you know what I mean? Because we love you. How's everything?
Randi's world has been full of a lot of downs lately.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I've been overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you want me to talk from a feelings place.
Where else you gonna talk from?
I could talk from all the stuff that's been going on.
Good.
But I've been overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to stay positive, listening to my podcast, praying, but I have been tired.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to bed early. We had our first meeting with the special education team and for our son, and just going through that process. It was long. It's been exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
So the dog died. I see a leak, a potential leak in the ceiling. I see a brown spot in the ceiling. I'm like, dang, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our clients, a lot of our clients are facing adversity, and it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's my part-time seasonal job.
Yeah, that too.
That has been a lot. I tried to quit the other day. But I reached out to my friend, and she talked to me and told me, you haven't even gotten what you went there for. It's too soon. You're feeling discouraged. And I think it's everything that you were just talking about, like just being beat up.
Right.
And it's not even, well, I don't even want to say beat up, but it's just so much. I'm not used to really having a whole bunch of negative things happen within the course of a few weeks. So definitely an emotional response, but I'm okay. Like I'm seeking the Lord. I'm working through it. I went to the gym yesterday. Like I realized I'm feeling bad and it's like intervention.
Right.
I pulled out a book. And I'm like, let me come off social media. Let me start doing some reading. Like I start my own process.
Right.
And I know it's okay.
Yeah,
I know it's
for
gonna
sure.
be fine.
Nah, you touched on a lot of things. You can break some of it down. But listen, y'all, what are we talking about today is literally, if you've been following our podcast, and if you haven't, you need to start following us today, right? But we was talking to start the year off about, and just like a lot of other people, we was talking about everything that we want to do this year. Like we're trying to go sit there and generate $1 million for a business. Like we want to go do that this year. We want to sit there and maybe move out this house, get bigger space. We want to have our son, our 3-year-old, go to school. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to elevate our podcast. You know what I mean? We want to build the community. Like we want to get more advisory clients. Like we want to do a lot. We talked about all these things. And then out of nowhere, it's like, it started with the dog dying. We talked about that in the last episode and dedicated that whole episode to Maxie. But that was one thing I want to talk about that we didn't really touch on is we went to the hospital, right, to try to save him. 24 hours later, we're making the decision that he's not going to be here. But we didn't talk much about the financial part of it.
Right.
So we got to talk about that. So listen, y'all, listen. How many of y'all were really ready? And you probably heard this before, but like really think about it. How many of y'all were really ready to handle an emergency, like a financial emergency, where a lot of us are living, and as soon as something really good is left, you be looking to borrow money, you be looking to do a GoFundMe, you be looking to sell something, like just like that. We be living this life where like as long as this keeps going, as long as I keep getting that check, you know what I'm saying? As long as I can keep my job, as long as I can keep getting that 10-hour shift or whatever it is, like we don't be ready for the change. We don't be ready for the adjustment. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as life happens, because it happens to everybody financially, what do? Maxie was like $5,000. We tried to, like, within 24 hours, our financial situation changed by $5,000. $5,000, right? Yep. Within 24 hours, then. How many people can sit there and respond to that and have to adjust for $5,000 on the spot? But we had to do that. We want to try to save our dog's life, but it was mad expensive. And he didn't make it. So not only am I got to bury my dog after 24 hours, now I was sitting here with $5,000, right? And dead. Well, how did we take care of that? How will we prepare for that? We had emergency money. We paid for it. It has impacts now.
And you know what else?
What's up?
The car.
Yo. Nah, you're right. So here, oh my goodness, then. So not only is he $5,000 with the dog, but I tell you, life don't care about nothing. We're trying to make more money. All of a sudden, we got to spend $5,000 for the dog. And everything ain't positive. Everything ain't positive. We give you the ups and downs of life. We give you the good and the bad. With Randi's a financial guru. She looks for every single penny. That's a beautiful thing. We always tell you how amazing Randi is with the finances for it. But what the hell you think happens? How you think Randi's feeling? Now we got to spend $5,000 to save a dog that weren't in the budget. That touches her soul, huh? Randi's hurt. Randi is hurt. You see what I'm saying? Because she knows, dang, that's how it impacts our finances. We wasn't ready for that. We might have been able to pay for it, but after you pay for it, you pay for it. If that makes sense. Right. You go pay for it.
Right.
And then your life afterwards for a little while, it pays for it. So what do we do next? You know what I'm saying? Well, before we could even consider, we got hit with, oh gosh, listen. Got mumps, Gigi, my mama. We got to talk about Gigi. Gigi is flourishing right now. I love Gigi. But anyway, my mama's picking the kids up from school, driving the Toyota, our fully paid off 2012. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? It's fully paid off. Great. She drives the car, calls us talking about the car won't start, and the steering wheel's locked. And she's literally at the front of the line at the school. The car is like moving and she can't adjust the steering wheel. And she's panicking. My son, my 12-year-old, he's panicking. The school principal's got to come out and help stop the car, help him push the car over to the side into a parking spot. And now all of a sudden, I'm got to leave the house and go pick him up because the other car is died. Now, what in the world's happened? We call emergency roadside assistance. Yeah. They come tow the car. And then here we are, another 22 grand plus. We got to pay for the car to get fixed. Alternator needed to get fixed. What else? Brakes. Alternator was going. Brakes. New battery.
Yeah, it was
you know what I'm saying? So how about that, y'all? How you like that? How about we take that $5,000 to $7,500? Huh? Are you ready for $7,500 to start your new year? Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make a meal and that was just like, I don't care about that. Car done, dog done. Just like that. Right?
Right.
All right. Well, okay. You would think that's it. That's enough. We're still in January. That's enough, right? We're talking about money, but we also talking about, once again, what happens when you're really trying to, just trust me, it's not a circumstance that when we really put forward that effort, these things happen to discourage you and take you off your path and make you reprioritize like, hey, I just got to get through this tough time. And now you're not focusing on the elevation. You're not focusing on them big dreams that you had because life just comes smack you down and be like, nope, no thanks. You know what I'm saying? So we got the car, but we was able to get the car fixed. Hey, look, thank you for Randi. Thank you for us having this relationship and the way we work together because some of y'all out there would just not be, y'all be on the bus today. Y'all wouldn't have been ready. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be packing some Lunchables because all of a sudden you ain't got no money or you be trying to get a second job. Like some people really ain't prepared. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we were in a space where we were able to get through these things, even though we're in a stressful situation. No, we was able to take care of business. And as a husband, as a wife, as a business owner, as parents, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of responsibility. So not being ready for emergencies is literally not an option. It shouldn't be an option if you have them type of responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So anyway, we were able to take care of that. So yeah, dog done, car done. I'm sitting there at work. Randi comes over. She's like, wow, what's that up there? I look up on the ceiling, like she said, big brown spot on the ceiling. And we ain't even assessed what that is yet.
I can't put that on my plate.
Can't.
Not this week. Maybe next week.
Right, next week. So we'll come back to that and let y'all know what's going on. But we got a little spot on the ceiling, and you know that can't be good.
Right, exactly.
It's not great. Something's not right. Something involving moisture. You know what I'm saying? Like something with moisture, not good. You know what I'm saying? But we was able to get through these things. But anyway, we go forward, and we're sitting here, and it's like, all right, well, you know. We'll have some personal things happen. Cool. But business is flourishing. Business is great. The devil ain't touched the business bucket at all. Well, straight. Not so much. Not so much. What's been going on? You know, obviously we keep it general because our clients' confidentiality. Don't play with us. But the devil don't just say, the devil greedy, you know. He don't just say, oh, I touched the personal bucket, but y'all can keep going and be great in business. Nope. I want a little bit of this. I want a little bit of that. I want a little bit of that. He greedy. So as we would love to be able to just pivot to the business and be like, all right, let's just go get some paper, you know, take care of these personal problems. But then, no, the business got to get in it too. So what's been going on the business side? Starting with the person that got hired and fired within 6 hours. Forget him. But after that.
Right. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Right. He weren't there long enough to even remember.
Well, that's a blessing.
I know.
Well, with the business, our clients are facing financial hardship.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, if I had to give a percentage, 80%. And it's out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. So what happens when clients face financial hardships, invoices don't get paid. And if invoices don't get paid, well, we are the invoice.
Right.
That's our business. That's how we make our money. So I understand when you're like, oh, should I pay my accountants or should I pay this? You know, should I make payroll this week?
Exactly.
So, but it has impacts to us. So, yes, that's what's going. It's been tough. And then you reach out to the client and they don't call back.
I know, and you just know.
Yeah.
You know.
It's been challenging. It's been challenging. We still have payroll.
Yeah, for real. And it's like we do the work. And when you think of it, if you're in a service-based industry like us, we're accounting, we're advisory, we're taxes and those kind of things, you have someone that's giving you financial advice. You have someone that's doing your accounting. You have someone that's doing your taxes. The way that we work, the way that our business is set up, we're pretty much an extension of your business. We work with you all the time. We don't just come in once a month and do some stuff for you, send you a bill. We're there talking to you all the time, help you make decisions, what to do with your money, what not to do with your money. How's it going to impact your taxes or not? Do you need a budget? Are you on track with your budget? Like, we're truly financial advisors. So the ups and downs of our clients is the ups and downs of us. Because that's the trade-off. And if y'all been following us, we changed our business model to be just this, to be advisors, to not be people that you just send information to once a month, do some recording, give you some financials, and here you go. No, we're part of everything that you do. So your ups and downs in your business, they become our ups and downs. The days that you're feeling stressed out, we might be feeling stressed out because we just talked to you about your stresses.
Yeah.
And they become part of our lives. We're almost like therapists. We're like therapists for money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And just to say something about the therapy part, I talked to a client last week and he wants to meet with us. And in that meeting, he would like for his wife to be there. And the other guy that we met with, I'm not going to say his name, but one of his other trusted advisors, like that gives him advice. But he was saying there's things that we can explain to her better than he can when it comes to moving forward with the business.
Right.
So it's just.
but that also lets you know the time that we're in, because they're making a tough decision. They're married and his wife probably has feelings like, I'm not sure what we should do. Like, how is this going to work? So now we got to get in it more and communicate and be like, this is how we can get through this. Because as financial advisors, we're not just sitting there to say, oh, you're profitable 50,000, go do this with it. Financial advice be just as important when you're struggling. How do I get through this challenging times? You know, we had a very good discussion with one of our clients and to give some advice to y'all. If you got a service-based industry and you're struggling, right? Let's say some people quit on you. You didn't expect, or maybe one of the products you're using all of a sudden gets a recall and nobody wants you to use it on their body or on their hair or whatever the case may be. Or your shop gets broken into. Like, life happens, you know what I'm saying? So your usual path gets a sharp, abrupt turn. You still got to make payroll with your employees. You still got to pay certain bills, probably pay rent, however your business is set up. So we had a really good discussion. We will advise y'all that sometimes you got to get really creative in how you can make money, you know? And one of the things we talked about was exploring. I won't get into too much detail, but we started exploring the fact that this client has a space and they can use their space to make money in a different way. So even though they don't have as much service coming in, as much products being sold because of things that's happened, now we're like, hey, we could use this space in a different way to get us through this tough period, you know? So the advice for y'all, if you got a business or whatever, and you're struggling with revenue and things like that, or something that's happened where the service that you provide for whatever reason, you're not able to provide so much of it right now, thank the Lord that you have a space. And start working with somebody who can advise you on how to let that space make money for you in a different way. Because a lot of people that want to do things, you have to be able to do it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So how can I use this space differently? Whether it's renting it, whether it's having somebody take a piece of it for a little while, whatever. But that space that you pay for, find a way for every minute as much as possible for that thing to be making money, especially when you're going through tough times. So we had a really good discussion there, you know? But the other thing I will say, you know, with business that we dealt with is the trade-off of the fact of we really care about our clients. You know what I'm saying? So when we hear about these tough times that people going through or challenges, it's twofold because we care about you. Like, so we didn't want this to happen. So that makes the conversation even harder too. Cause it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really wish this didn't happen to you. I really wish you wasn't going through this. You're a good person. You're a good, you know what I mean? And we got to sit there and be like, almost like a friend and business affiliate or whatever. You know, that makes it tough. But the year has started with not just challenges for us, but challenges for our clients too. So we're sitting here and we're like, well, what does this mean? There's some uncertainty that's been created, right? You know what I'm saying? Now we got to look and say, hey, do we need to push even more on our goal to get more clients, which is a big goal for us this year as well. But that uncertainty makes you real uncomfortable, especially, again, this part is for our young adults and for most part, our middle-aged people that have real responsibility that are trying to do big things in their life. You know what I'm saying? This is really for you. If you're at home, not got a care in the world, playing your Xbox, nobody's asking you for nothing, this may not mean as much to you. But the average young adult to middle-aged person, there's a lot underneath you that you're responsible for. And it becomes even harder when you're trying to be great. You know what I'm saying? And good, you know, bad things do happen to good people. You know, there's no bias. You know, we all could be impacted. But having these conversations with our clients has been tough, and just kind of seeing like, all right, well, I didn't expect to start the month of January with like what? A high percentage of our invoices not paid timely. Very impactful. Yeah. Mirror that with the fact that 7,500 just had to get paid very unexpectedly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, now everything is not always bad. Remember, life gives you ups and downs. It gives you the good and the bad. And that's why you need to be able to be part of a community and connect with people to help you get through these tough times. Because another thing that impacts us financially, but it's also a beautiful thing, which I want you to touch on, is our wonderful, beautiful, amazing, late learning, hard-headed, always got to figure it out on her own time and her own way child, who I'm proud of, is going to university. You know what I'm saying? And you got to go with her recently.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. You can add that to the finances because we paid her first semester cash.
I know. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I was just trying to flip it to the positive first.
Okay.
But let's stick on it. Right, we had to pay our first semester of school. That's another one. Yeah. But
the thing is, we paid that before all this stuff.
I'm gonna let you talk
all this
about
stuff it. Happened.
Right, we did.
I don't. It hurts. I don't want to talk about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because you went up to the. So tell us about the experience of, you know, and anyone that's got kids out there, especially if you had an experience where your kids going to the same university as you, or they're going to university for the first time. And you go and see them take in that experience and be excited about it. You know, we can talk about this for the next couple of minutes. Go ahead.
So we went to the school and we were scheduled for a tour.
We could shout out our university.
Oh, yeah, Bowie State University.
Yeah, BSU. You know what I mean? Yeah. The most amazing professors you will ever find anywhere is at BSU. We can shout them out, but go ahead.
Yes, I love Bowie State. So I haven't been on campus since we took those pictures years ago, I think. We might have drove past. But anyway. So I go on campus. You might as well say since 2007, since I graduated, because I really haven't gone back and walked through like that. So we pull up to the school and I'm looking at this building. We used to have our classes in this building called the MLK, like the business classes, accounting classes, business law. And we pull up to the school. I'm like, oh, they doing construction on the building. And then I look a little bit closer and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're tearing down the building. They were actively tearing down the building. Demolition. I started crying. Because First of all, I wasn't ready. I didn't know they were tearing it down. And so much emotion flooded my body. I couldn't do anything but cry. Like that. So that building was the building, like I said, I had most of my classes. It's the building I met my spouse, Dexter. It's the building where I used to bring Mariah to school with me once in a while, and I'd have her in a stroller and I'd push her through the building. And I just have so many memories in that building, meeting my friends, and I just couldn't believe it. So I was crying before we even started the tour. I was crying, and I was.
And you called me.
I called you. You didn't answer.
Oh dang! You could have left that part.
Well, you didn't.
I did.
Called you a couple times. Yeah.
Really? We did end up connecting.
We did end up connecting. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I missed the call.
Yeah.
My bad.
I called you, and then Mariah called you as well.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry.
No, that's all right. Let that out. Let that out.
Called you, didn't answer.
Let it out. Thanks,
but
Jesus.
I was all right. We did a little tour, and we ended up going to the administrative building to take care of some things. And we met this really nice lady there. And I was telling Mariah, because she was there when you entered the building, she like, how can I help you? Sort of thing. Yeah. And she was so nice. Her name was Flo.
Okay.
And she was telling Mariah, are you excited to be here? And like, you could just tell, like, she cared about Mariah, even though she don't even know Mariah. So, and I was telling Mariah, I was like, see, when you come to a Black school, the people, they care about you. So even like walking to so anyway, okay, let me get it together. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Mariah was walking around dancing. I'm going to college. And so they had tore down they were working on tearing down the old building. So when we came out of the administration building, I was like, oh, it's another building here. So they have built a new MLK building.
Right.
It wasn't like, there was a couple of things that needed like some work, but completely new MLK building. And I was like, let me go check out this new building. It looks really, really nice on the outside. And I walked in, and it was so nice. State of the art, computer rooms. They had a radio studio, just open space, nice windows, classrooms. It was so nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And I was like, wow, look at that. So, yeah. And then I started thinking about it later on. Yeah. Because I was still processing the whole original MLK thing.
Why do you think you was crying though? Like, I think the average person would be like, all right, like, you know, your husband was there, like, all right, but it's still like a building. But like, when you called me, at first I was like, she's tripping. Like, why is she crying? But then I had to take a second and really think about, and I don't want to make you cry right now.
I know.
But it's okay though, because we keep it 100 on here. But like, I had to really think about it. And I was like, you know, when my boy, this guy Melvin, I'm going to say his name, he probably don't care. But when my boy came to me and was like, yo, you haven't met Miss Miranda? That was in MLK. Like the first day I saw you, it was in MLK, walking around with your little short haircut and everything. That was in MLK. When I had my teacher tell me that I need to take things more serious and really called me out in class, like about my potential, that was in MLK. You know what I'm saying? When I was going to NABA meetings, National Association of Black Accountants, and the very first time that I realized there was another Bermudian in my school that sent me on my whole path to get an internship with a Big Four accounting firm, and now I'm an accountant. That all happened in MLK. I used to sit out with my boys talking in between classes in MLK. That building has a lot of meanings. My advisors were in MLK. I had economics in MLK. I had accounting in MLK. I had tax accounting in MLK, like income taxes. A lot of things happen in MLK. And I had to sit there and be like, dang, there's so many memories there of a time in my life that means so much to me. Also a time in my life that before I even went to Bowie State, I didn't even want to go. I remember my mama coming all the way down to Bermuda. I was sitting there working construction with my grandpa, and I told everybody, I ain't going to college. I'm making money. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I come home one day from work. My mama's in the room in Bermuda. I thought she was in Maryland at the time. She had showed up and she's packing all my stuff. And I'll never forget. And I'm mad. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not going to let you be a failure. And she took me all the way to Maryland, like kicking and screaming. She'll tell you this story. I didn't want to go. I was upset because I'm down in Birmingham making about $1,200 a month, 18 years old. Like, there's no reason for me to go college. Like, I'm doing well. She packed all my stuff up, brought me to Maryland and made me go. Look how that changed my entire life. And here it is. One of the buildings that I have so many memories in is now gone. And I'm like, I get it. I know why that did that to you.
It represents a time.
It represents a time that lives forever on the inside of you. That's the thing. Things can get torn down on the outside, but they live on the inside.
Yep.
It don't matter if that building gets torn down. It will always be meaningful for all those things. So I get seeing it in real life be torn down, how that could impact you. You know what I'm saying?
But
what else happened on your trip?
No.
What else?
Something else happened?
I don't know. I
no.
didn't go. You went. You didn't tell me. I ain't go.
No, so I just wanted to say it just made me think about how these last few weeks have been and just getting demolition and torn down. And you look at it and you look at what you're going through and all you do is see like destruction.
Very symbolic, right?
And then I couldn't, like I didn't even see that there was another brand new state of the art, same building per se, on the other side. So it took me, taking my attention off the demolition, walking through another building, coming out and seeing that, oh, wait, there's a new MLK building that's almost 100% complete. This is amazing. So it just made me think about what is God doing with us and all this adversity that we're facing. What is on the other side that we can't even see it, but he knows it's there. Like it's already there. We just got to step into it.
Wow. Hey, you dropping jams today. You dropping real jams today. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be more mature, but geez.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like that is so true. That's been symbolic of our entire start of 2025. It's like trying to tear us down. So much demolition. So much when it's our client struggles with and the impacts to us. And, it's not our specific business struggle, but it impacts us because they got to pay us like it and they may not. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about, whether it's our dog dying out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's the car breaking down out of nowhere and having to fix that. Going to the school, the MLK building being destroyed like that. What's happening in the roof? Wondering what's going on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yet, what else is happening that we may not see if we're just focused on the demolition part. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why when I got that call yesterday, I got a call about this house that we looked at. It's a model home we looked at earlier. No, that would have been last year. We looked at last year. We've been looking at it for a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. How long has it been? We've gone.
About a year. We've been window shopping.
Yeah, we've been window shopping.
It's a big purchase, though. It's okay.
A huge purchase. Yeah. But I will say that I got a call yesterday for this house on the lot that I would want it if I decide to move forward. If we decide to move forward with purchasing it on a lot that I think might be the perfect lot. So that kind of gave me some hope. Like, oh, okay, so maybe things are going to turn around. I don't know.
Right. No, I'm excited to go back. Yeah. I'm wondering if we should take somebody with us, but if we take this certain person and it's not who you're thinking about, we got to be willing to know that they're going to tell everybody and their mama.
Oh.
But they might want to check it out. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Right. But we talk about that. But, what do we mean by all this? And we just want to encourage y'all, like, don't get too discouraged, because this is where you got to come in and have faith. And we are Christians on this podcast. We ain't ashamed to say it. So if you don't believe in it, hey, no offense to you, but we really believe, and it's the whole reason we're doing this podcast, is that God is the ultimate orchestrator of things. And he's always behind the scenes, moving things in ways that you would never, ever expect. And you have to trust in him. And he's putting you through these tough times for a reason. And we don't know that reason. And the truth is, we don't want to know the reason half the time because we just don't want the tough times. We don't want to go through. We humans. We don't want to go through the tough times. We don't want to pay the $7,500. We don't want to go see what all that moisture is in in the freaking ceiling. We don't want to have to bury our dog and have our kids crying right in front of our face because we got to put the dog down. Now we're looking at videos on my phone, random soccer videos, random things in the house, and the dog's in the background. I sit there. I don't want to go to my phone at 9:00 and see and wonder why it's buzzing, and it's because it's the daily reminder to brush the dog's teeth. Like all these little things are like how my life's been impacted in a way that our life has been impacted in a way that we didn't want. But what is on the other side? You know what I'm saying? We want to encourage you, like, what is God planning for you? What's right in front of you? You might think that that's the most important thing, but if your focus is on the wrong thing, he might just move it to the side for you. You know, he's always got something greater. You know, he's here to take care of us. And it's hard to have faith. We ain't just trying to gas you, but it's hard to have faith during the tough times. It's easy to celebrate when you get that bonus and it's more money than you expected. It's like, oh, thank you, God, you're the greatest. Like, but what about when you got to pay the $7,500 you don't have and you might lose some clients, and now all of a sudden you're putting your dog in the ground and you're looking around and be like, hey, it's only been 2 weeks. What about Dan? What are you thinking about God? Dan? How much faith do you have, Dan? You know what I'm saying? And but don't forget that there might be something, and there usually is something bigger and greater on the other side, just like that new MLK building. Mm-hmm. You know, because one other thing with that you didn't mention is even with all the memories that we have, even though how impactful it was, how much it means to us, and how much it hurt you when you saw it go down, there's something else you told me on the phone, which is true. Building's old. Building's old. Building was old when we was there. Mm-hmm. One thing I didn't mention is as amazing and how many memories is in the MLK building, there's one thing that I didn't like to do in the MLK building, and that was use the bathroom. I didn't like using the bathroom because the bathroom, excuse me, was a little cringy. That's not where you want to use the bathroom. I'll walk over to the CLT building to use the bathroom because the building was old.
And it was dingy too.
Dingy.
It's not like it had good lighting or anything.
Not at all. Old, dingy, time to go. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Same with our car. We might be able to get some more time out of it. But the truth is, why did it break down? Well, it's a 2012. It's 2025.
It's over 200,000 miles.
Over 200,000 miles. So really, what's supposed to be happening, even though we don't want it to and it hurts us, it is supposed to happen. And it's okay. It's okay for God, like he always does, to take out the old and bring in the new. That's how life is. Now, you might be him and you're like, hey, you know, I can't do this. I can't do that like I used to. My back's hurting, this, and that. It's okay. Go work out. Go take care of yourself. But just remember, like, certain things are supposed to happen. And it's hard. When you're 50, you're supposed to have a little ankle ache that you wouldn't have had when you was 18. It's okay. There's no need to be upset. It's hard to go through it, but it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you were supposed to, of all days to go take our child to school, you were supposed to see that. That's the crazy part. You went up there to be with your child and support her as she starts school and to do her thing. But God has something for you, specifically for you. Because guess what? When she saw that building go down, it didn't mean nothing to her. Not at all.
She was like, I was here. I was like, yeah.
Right. It didn't have no meaning. So that means that when you both went to the school, you went there for one reason. God had a different reason for you. I didn't go that day. You went. Everything happens for a reason. So she got what she needed to get out of the experience, and so did you. Because God needed to show you in that moment that things are being demolished in your life while things are being brought brand new.
Amen.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's what you went there for. So that's why you can come back and take the 7,500 stress and take the client stress and look at it and be like, well, I'm branding myself now. I'm growing. I'm looking to grow my podcast more. I'm back in the gym. I've got my son into school.
He's going to do a new thing.
He's going to do something new in you. Mm-hmm. That's great. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you went through that. Now, talking about our son with school before we run out of time, it happens fast. My goodness. For anybody who doesn't know, but for our loyal followers from day one, you guys know, we talked about our son is 3 years old who has special needs, you know? And the journey of his life so far has been a blessing, but it's also had challenges that we haven't had to endure with any of our other kids. Because the main thing is, He has development delays. He's not talking to us. You know what I'm saying? He's not talking. And we have to do things to help him get back on pace as much as possible. You know what I mean? Playing with toys the right way, communicating with us, eating the right way, all types of stuff, you know, but we're blessed to have him and we are anointed to be his parents. You know what I mean? His caregivers, you know, God gave us that role, but we had a very, I would say, interesting experience this week of just registering him in school, you know? And what was that experience like for you? Do you feel good about it now? How do you feel as his mama, you know, now that we're registering him in a special program in school to try to, you know, help him develop more?
I feel really good about it because I've spent the last couple of years just looking into things, doing a lot of research. How can we help him? What does it mean? And we've done different things like the Maryland Infants and Toddlers program, where we have a special educator come work with us to help us work with him. And then on our own, we have done the speech pathologist. So he's going to speech therapy twice a week to help with that. And I feel good about those decisions that we've made. But as far as enrolling him in school, this is different because now we have a plan. So we had an IEP meeting, which is an individualized education plan. And we knew that we were going to have it because they did an assessment on him a few months ago to see where he was with different areas in his development. But one of the things that I did was that I didn't want to walk in there blindly. I wanted to know what type of questions I should be asking in this meeting. So I met with my cousin and my friend, and they looked at the IEP and gave me a lot of advice. So when we walked into the meeting the other day, I'm saying walked in, we were on Zoom. But when we had this meeting, I felt really good. When they walked through the different types of structural play that they would implement and different goals that they wanted him to achieve and how we would get to achieving those goals, I felt really, really good. I felt like we asked the right questions. I had a really good, clear understanding. I had something to measure, and I'm looking forward to him starting school in a couple of weeks.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was an eye-opening experience for me, and I'll talk about this. I don't mind. Hopefully you don't mind me doing this, but one key requirement of him being registered in school is that he basically has to have like a reason or a diagnosis or some way to quote unquote tag him to be eligible, excuse me, for this IEP program. So before we even had the meeting this week, the last one we had here before that, which I want to say was like a month ago or so, maybe less, I'm not sure. But they said that they recommended that his diagnosis be autism. Now, one thing that I've been blessed with is that I have a cousin who's autistic. My cousin Amani, you know what I mean? He's in Bermuda and he's amazing. And I'm watched him grow his whole life from close and afar. And he has like a huge cookie company. Make sure y'all follow him. What is it? Amani's Cookies, I think. I don't want to get it wrong. Tag. Amani Cookie Company. Make sure you follow him. But if you want to see,
get it right.
Make sure we get it right. I don't want to get it wrong. But what I'm saying is that somebody gives my son a tag of autistic, and it doesn't mean what it could mean as something really negative. Not at all, because I've sat here and watched what God could do when you have the right support, the right parents, and you work hard at something.
Amani's Cookie Company.
Amani's Cookie Company.
One bite and you're all right.
One bite and you're all right. They taste bomb too. I ain't had the cookies in years, but they taste bomb. But look, make sure you follow him. He's delivering to all different companies in Miami every single day and outside of Bermuda. You know what I'm saying? And he may not talk a lot, but he don't have to talk a lot to make a huge impact. And he's making a huge impact. I'm a big fan of what he's doing. I love him, you know what I mean? And I admire my uncle for what he's did for him. And one thing that I've learned through the whole thing is whatever you view as a restriction, it could be a blessing in another way. And I was talking to Randi and I was like, yeah, he's not talking to us and he's not doing this, this, and that. But what is God giving us? Like, what is he going to become? What we could focus more on that. You get what I'm saying? Like, how great is he about to become at whatever he's doing? We might think that he's supposed to be a certain type of way or whatever the case may be, but we could feel the love in him. We know he's about to be great. So let's get excited about the journey and figuring out, well, what do we have here? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I tell my uncle, I hope he don't mind me talking about this, but whatever. because it is what it is. I don't go on TikTok Live, but I've been on this TikTok Live recently. As soon as I joined, 2 minutes in, he was talking about how people used to make fun of my cousin. You know what I'm saying? And that happens. People will tear you down. All you got to do is be a little bit different. People don't know how to receive different. You know what I'm saying?
That was my concern with
right.
Kobe going to school.
Nah, he was talking about how people used to make fun of him or whatever. And then he said something like, he is way ahead and doing way more than anybody that ever made fun of him. You get what I'm saying? So if you think about it, like, yeah, he's not talking this, and that. But how many damn people that was making fun of him are doing what he's doing, running a business, having an impact in his country and outside his country, and being big on social media and everything, and having such an impact and also teaching people about autism at the same time. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So whatever people's thinking about you, it don't matter. It don't really matter because the path that you're on, they're not on. They're just watching and they're just commenting. And people will do that your whole life. But you can't let that stop you from going on the great path that God has set up for you. You know what I'm saying? So when I got the diagnosis of my son being autistic, I'm like, look, I told you, I'm like, what does that change? Nothing. We're his parents. We love him more than anything. We don't get to look at him and say, oh, well, we're going to return you. No, that has no impact on us. We just got to go and figure this thing out, and we will. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for him to start school. One thing I'm really excited about, which I told the people when we met with him, is that his interacting with us more, playing, like his initiating play with me. So like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at my niece's house. I was laying down on a chair with him. I was tickling his stomach. He's laughing. Then he rolled on his stomach and he waited a second. I could tell he wants me to do it again. Then I do it again. Then he's laughing. Then he stops. Then I did it again. So like, he's interactive and showing me like what he wants and is having a good time, and we're in this moment together of like laughing, stopping, laughing, stopping, laughing, stopping. That's growth, because there was a time where I couldn't get that out of him at all. I pick him up, he screams, I put him down. You know what I'm saying? So like there's growth there, and I'm like, I could look at it one way, but what am I really experiencing right now? I'm at my niece's house, having a good time, laughing and playing with my son. And there's a lot of people in the world that don't get to do that. So that's what we can focus on. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to focus on what is not there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about him going to school. And to anybody that's out there, look, I brought up my uncle or whatever, but that's just an example of being able to be part of some type of community to help you go through things.
Yeah. And I've been talking to your uncle too.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
One thing I do want to say, we also have to put pride aside for certain things. So when somebody really means something to you, go get the information. It don't matter if it's coming from somebody that's going to hold it over your head for 20 years. It don't matter if it's coming from somebody that you think is giving it to you for the wrong reason. Whatever, like, okay, just get the information. Let the love for that person or that thing be more important than the fact that you don't want to go get it from so-and-so's ace girl. You don't want to go get it from this guy because you don't want him to know that you needed his help. All right, bro. Like, all right. We all need help. They might need your help later on. But let's get over ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And love our people enough, love our family enough, love ourselves enough to just get the information and stop spending so much time judging who's giving it to us and the fact that we didn't want to get it from that person. Because God's giving you the information. The vessel that has given it to you, that's his choice. You have to go get it. I owe my son the information. But anyway, you said you've been talking to him? My bad.
Yeah, I've been talking to him.
How's that been?
It's good. Mm-hmm. He gives me information that I didn't know I needed. Like he gave me some things on YouTube that I could play for Kobe. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't even know I needed it.
Right.
But I put it on for Kobe, and he sat there and he watched it. It helps encourage speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all good.
Okay.
And if you got this, and when you get the information, if the trade-off is that you're going to hear all about the cookie sales and the success of the business,
I got that.
It is what it is.
And
like,
I love it.
And it's all good.
Yeah. But now I look at it differently because now that I know more about autism and how it can be perceived, I can see why he's very upfront. He's very vocal about, these are my son's strengths. This is what he has done. This is what we have been invited to. Like, I get it now. So,
but I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing. What is your responsibility as a parent anyway? You're supposed to be proud of your children no matter what they do. You see what I'm saying? So what is wrong with anybody being out there in front of the whole world and saying, look at the greatness in my kid? You would do it if they was playing basketball.
Right.
You'd be do it if they was playing soccer. You would do it if they was a famous chef. You would do it if they was a famous musician. So it's okay for you to do it if they're a paraplegic Olympic winner. It's okay if you do it if they're an autistic person, if they're in the Special Olympics. Like, it don't change because it's not under the social norms of like the world, and like, who cares, then? He's amazing and you love him, and you're going to tell everybody how amazing he is. And if you don't agree, you can get out the way. That's why God gives us our children too. We're supposed to be their biggest advocators. You know what I'm saying? So I respect them a lot for that, no matter what. And I know that there's nothing wrong with celebrating the hard work that you had to put in, because my son's only 3. I already see the hard work that we had to put in, getting them speech therapy, got to get them there twice a week, 8 a.m., trying to get them to read certain things, trying to get them to play, trying to get them to eat certain ways. Like, it's work. So when I, like I said, when I'm playing with him, it was almost like celebration, because I remember what it's like to not be able to do none of that. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, anyway, like I said, this episode, we talked about a lot of things, but the theme of it was be ready for the unexpected. You want to be great? Expect these hurdles to come in your way. You know what I mean? And realize that even though there might be some demolition in your life, that God is rebuilding something bigger and better on the other side. All right. So stay encouraged, stay strong. All right. And always think that there's something bigger than you and bigger than your understanding that's happening in your life, and keep your faith strong and just be ready for the ups and downs of life. And that's what our podcast is all about. Make sure you follow us, the Dex and Randy Show. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on Spotify. We're going to be dropping video podcast episodes very, very soon on YouTube. So make sure you follow us on YouTube. If you've been listening to our audio podcast all this time, I think we're in like 10 or 15 different countries. Like, we appreciate you guys who's been supporting us. But we're about to be dropping videos soon, so you're going to be able to see us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be on YouTube. If you enjoyed our podcast today, make sure you like it, leave comments, subscribe. Like, if you can relate to any of this, like, let's talk about it. This is build this community. This is how we get through things. And I think from the heart, we are the realest podcast out there when it comes to talking about like real life and the good and bad things that happen in it. All right. We love y'all. Next time. Peace. Make sure you follow the Dax and Randy Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time. Peace.